So we are trying to understand how the consumer buyer behavior is equally weaved into the service industry or service industry as a domain. Service delivery begins with intangible continuous process. On one hand, you want your customers to keep coming back. You want them to keep coming back. Also refer you service to the others. The other hand, consumer expects not only the same level of service but also expects you to make up for the delivery deficiency. So if you fall short on the expectations, they expect the service repair to take place. Now, service repair, the deficiency, those areas are the gray areas which is behavioral centric. You have to understand the consumer behavior very well. So your service repair or service guarantee policy that you develop should have an empathy with the consumer. So that's where the consumer buying behavior also comes into picture. So how you put before the consumer the deficiency that has happened and what are you offering to him as a service repair option. So these are all psychological perspective which gets integrated into the post-purchase support. So you see that even in the post-purchase support, consumer buying behavior is all the more important and the critical. Okay. The consumer has a numerous questions to be answered. Okay. When he is looking for a friendly resolution by you as a service provider, he is wondering about whether he will be able to know his order's progress. Will it get delivered in time? These are the questions. Will he get the right goods in the right condition? Will he get product installation support or not, etc.? Will he get any goods return support or not? Is there any replacement? So why not proactively provide this support? You understand your consumer, you understand their buying hindrances or obstacle to buy from you. If suppose these are the obstacle, if you have not done anything to overcome that, then every time customers will come to you, he will be interested. He will face this as a challenge. So if it continues to be the case, he might altogether dump you. He will go to somebody who addresses this, in a friendly manner. At moment of truth, which is a final real encounter that happens, when the service differentiation takes place. Once he goes to that moment of truth where actual service delivery has happened, consumers built a perception about it. If that built a perception is better, if it is positive, and if it overcomes, it exceeds his expectations, etc., then you tend to gain better by way of getting more and more share of customer's wallet. He will because keep coming to you. Moment of truth is usually defined as an instance wherein the customer and the organizations come in contact with one another in a manner that gives the customer an opportunity to either form or change his impression about you. So it's a stage where actual service delivery is happening. You might have made some error one time, but next time when he comes, if you do it well as per your set of process, set of standards, etc., then consumers will have a benefit of doubt given to you. Okay, that might have happened due to some reason. This time they did it well, so he corrects his opinion about you. So that's where again a consumer behavior comes into picture. Consumers are driven by the experiences, so to say, even whether it's a product or the service. So past experience always matters, as they say. So that's a power. So moment of truth is a crucial phase where consumer behavior also plays a vital role in terms of how you deliver, how you overcome the deficiency, the service repair, and those stages how you handle, where entire science of consumer behavior comes into picture. Impression changing interaction could occur through the product of the firm. It's a service offering that you gave, or the both. So how you handle the subsequent experience that the consumer has determines his opinion about you. Various instances which can bring the small delights, so at a regular interval, right from reception, comfortable area to sit through, showcasing the product to him, explaining various features, services, greeting the customers, the way you greet, handling the queries, handling the deliveries, handling the complaints. These are all small moments of truth that he faces when he deals with you, how they have been handled. So again, it's a art of consumer behavior. Once you understand that and you decide your SOP accordingly, consumer will feel very satisfied. Okay. Other aspects of consumer behavior, buying behavior in service marketing are delighting the customers. So can you delight the customer, for which you need to know his expectations. So knowing the expectation is again a part of consumer behavior. Customer needs an expectation. So need translating into expectation and whether you are able to fulfill that. meeting and exceeding expectations. So again, one is a meeting of a customer expectation, second is exceeding it. So how good you have coined yourself, you developed yourself, your SOP, and how consistently they work, etc. So can you, instead of just meeting, exceed the expectation or not? So that should be the strive, for which again the understanding of a consumer behavior is critical. What is that consumer expecting from you? Only when you know that, then you can strive to either meet or exceed the expectation. So finally all this will lead to what? Customer satisfaction or a dissatisfaction on the other end, or the delight. When you exceed, he gets into the delight mode. That reflects in his about his perception for you. He will become more and more dependent on you. He will become loyal. He will refer you. So only when he reaches that state of uh, satisfaction, every time when I interact with them, they really exceed my expectations. So that's the stage where he is actually bonded with you. So in summarization, friend, what I'm trying to bring home for you is that customer service and delight is the sure key for organizations in the service marketing. So there is no given this thing. You must have a good delivery on this front. Delighting the customer, there is no alternative. Customer service design needs a service provider to understand the expected, expressed, latent and unfulfilled need of his customer. So when you design your service delivery, you need to know the need. So how will you fulfill the need if you do not know? Need can be latent, expressed, not expressed, etc. So that is what one need to really understand about the customers. The knowledge of customer psychographic is vital. So how he looks at your physical ambience, how he looks at your other amenities, etc. What are the stimulus or what are the triggers that will create a desire in him, desire to use your services? So do you understand that? So that's also a subject matter of consumer buyer behavior. Knowledge of learning theory. We have learned the learning theory in the previous chapters. So that is also applied. The knowledge of diffusion and adoption. You will wonder how a services, you develop a new packages, etc. You need to diffuse that. You need to reach out to the customers and they need to adopt it. So that's also the knowledge and learning helps there. For the marketer to include as a service marketer, what starts with the need and motivation understanding leads them to understand different consumer personality. So we have understood the concept of personality, psychographic, etc. Marketers in the service marketing also needs to understand this aspect. So there is a personality of the consumer, there is a psychographic, there are certain aspects which compels him to come to you. What is his attitude, whether attitude towards object, etc. So that is favorable, non-favorable, or it is static, etc. So if you understand those aspects, so through an encounter, through a communication, etc., you can try to influence them. And once you influence them favorably, you hope to get them for a longer time. Later, it deals with the customer perception management. So when customer starts coming to you again and again, it's the perception that you need to manage. So every time you deliver and exceed the expectation, the perception will become favorable. Perception of you with the customer, perception of customers with you and the competing brand, all these needs to be managed through that perception map, as I told you. So perception management enables you to meet the satisfaction level again and again. Okay. So when you satisfy your customer, you may exceed their satisfaction sometimes. You create a bonding. So all these things happen in a social setup. Now this is also one important thing. Customer coming to you, service provider is not same. They are developed through their social exposure, their family, they're influenced by the group, the peers, etc. Besides the impact of opinion leader and those things, various other exposure that is enables him to select your service. So you should be utilizing those things very well. But for that, you need to understand who your customer are, where are they, what are their buying habits, what are their media habits, etc. Which are the opinion leaders they follow. So you need to create the overall communication in such a way that you reach information out through various touch points and influence them, knowing their entire persona, personality and psychographic. Thus the knowledge of consumer buyer behavior, as I have concluded for you, plays an equal and crucial role at times, more than the product category, into service marketing domain. So we just understood and completed our understanding about what is it there consumer buyer behavior is a subject relevant in the service marketing. We have understood, and we have understood how it is relevant.